Child, things are gonna get easier. Ooh, child, things will get brighter. Ooh, child, things are gonna get easier. Ooh, child, things will get brighter. Someday, yeah, we'll put it together and we'll get it undone. Someday, when your head is much lighter. Things will be brighter. Ooh, child, things are gonna be easier. Ooh, child, things will be brighter.
Okay, welcome everyone to the Lancaster City Council. Roll call, please.
City Council Member, Agency Director, Authority Members Hughes Leslie,
Present.
Molly,
Present.
Mann,
Present.
Vice Mayor, Vice Chairman Christ,
Present.
Mayor Chairman Paris absent. We have a quorum.
Move to excuse Mayor Paris.
Second that.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Invocation, David McCoy. Welcome, David. Can everyone please rise if you can?
First off, to our council leaders and esteemed guests, I am truly encouraged by your example and openness to seek God before we do any kind of business. So with all that in mind, let's go ahead and join in prayer. Heavenly Father, we welcome your presence here in this place. And as every plan that has been prepared and will be presented, every issue discussed, every vote that would be taken, please guide our leaders, gift them your wisdom and grace. Also help them, Lord, as they approach and making these decisions, help them to have the humility, fairness, and sincere desire to do what is right for the greater good of this city. Driving up, we see evidence of your grace, of the hard work that is not in vain. And we just pray that we won't lose heart if we don't give up. But we must look to you, and every good and perfect gift comes from you. So help us, Lord Jesus, as you remind us that it is truly a blessing. And as we enter the harvest season, may we all have a heart of thankfulness and gratitude as we lift up our voices and cry out to you, but ultimately give you the praise and thanks when you work on our behalf. This what I ask in your holy name. Amen.
Thank you, sir. Rod, you want to lead us in the pledge, please?
Yes, sir. Everybody put your hand up your heart and state with me.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Presentations, Charlize.
So good afternoon, Vice Mayor and Council. Today I have the honor of bringing up one of our partners to give them recognition. And before I do that, though, I just want to say this was for a recent event we did. It was called the Love Your City Cleanup Event. We cleaned up a large area in the city back on October 4th. I think we had an unprecedented number of volunteers. There was over 600 people that came out to that event. It took a lot of partnership with the local churches, other organizations in the community to make this happen. We were able to clean up, I think it was 42.18 tons of trash, 900,000 square feet of lots, vacant lots in that area. We hit 390 homes and helped them clean up their yards. We also went down into the washes and helped get some of the homeless individuals the help that they need. So the event was truly successful. Well, WM, who's here today, why don't you guys come on up? They were one of our partners, and when we asked them, we said, hey, we'd like to get some trash bins, some bathrooms, some wash stations. They said yes. And we said, how about 9 bins? They said no. How about 12 and a couple of drivers to drive things around and make it even better? So thank you to them. We were able to really get all the trash that in the community over to the landfills successfully, and we had a successful event. So we wanted to just thank them, and I know you had a couple words you wanted to say too, Vice Mayor.
I think this is what working together is all about. Waste management, WM stood up. They're not only educating the people around in these areas that we're cleaning up, they're hanging door hangers. We're having people hang door hangers to actually explain to the citizens about the rights they have with waste management, about the ability to pick up trash, bulk items, and all that. We don't have to wait for these. They can call, they can get it done. You have a lot of benefits that are inside the waste management contract, and they're showing us how to use them, and they're cleaning up the community altogether. Ms. Little, Ashley, I think you guys have really worked with us tremendously. It's when you're being able to do this, and when we do cleanups, cost is an important factor, and they're doing it for free. They're stepping up, they're allowing the community to be cleaned up, and they're doing it on their backs. So I would, for one, would say, let's give them a big hand for doing that.
So we have a certificate. We'll take them up there and we'll get some photos.
Okay, before we get started on the consent calendar, I'd like to tell everybody how we run our meetings. The council will be very respectful to everybody that's out there. When you have your 3 minutes to talk, they will be very respectful to you. We're asking that everybody be respectful to us by running a good meeting. If your intent is to disrupt the meeting, one of those sheriffs up there will come down and tap you on the shoulder and say, please be quiet, don't interrupt the meeting. If we decide under Robert's Rules of Order that it's disrupting the meeting, then we'll either clear everything, do everything. So let's just run a good meeting. We don't want to disrupt the meeting. If your intent is to disrupt the meeting, it won't be good for you. So let's have a good meeting, and we'll go for there. We'll get a lot further. Council agenda. The consent calendar, we're going to pull CC7 and CC8.
Yeah, just stated for the record, CC 7 and 8 involves road work that are on 20th Street West in proximity of a piece of property that I own. So my intent is to recuse myself.
Okay, I need a motion that accepts the consent calendar, pulling CC7 and CC8.
I move to accept the consent calendar with the removal of CC7 and CC8 as comprised.
I second that.
Let's vote. Passes with 4 yes votes. Okay. Need a motion for CC7 and CC8.
I move to approve consent calendar items CC7 and CC8.
Second that.
We have a motion and a second. Let's vote.
Should I get it?
Passes with 3 yes votes, with Mr. Mann recusing himself. Public hearing number 1. I'll open the public hearing. We don't have any speaker cards? Yeah, we do. Sam?
Good evening, Vice Mayor, City Council. My name is Sam McNutt. I am the manager for community preservation. I'm here today, this evening, to present a proposal in regards to our ordinance amendment section 11-08-060 of the Lancaster Municipal Code relating to the annual mobile home rent increases. The goal for this amendment is to establish a more predictable, fair, and stable formula for annual rent adjustments in mobile home parks. Currently, rent increases are set at 60% of the Consumer Price Index, CPI. While this approach has been in place since 1993, it has led to a significant year-to-year fluctuation that makes budgeting difficult for both park owners and residents. Over the past several years, the CPI-based method has proven volatile. In 2023, the rate was 1.3% increase. 2024 was 5.2 increase, and 2025 was 1.9 increase. These swings create challenges for residents, particularly seniors and families on fixed incomes, as well as for park owners who rely on a consistent income to cover maintenance and operating costs. The amendment introduces a tier and predictable structure that replaces the existing 60% CPI formula. The minimum increase would be 2.5% when CPI is below 2.5%. When CPI is at 2.5% or to 2.3%, it would be just that. That would be a CPI base. The maximum increase, anything over the CPI of 3% would maintain at 3%. This balanced approach will protect residents from sudden rent spikes, also provide park owners with stable, reasonable income growth, and signify administration for city staff managing rent adjustment processes. Here's the benefit. Ensuring stabilization and protection from sharp rent increases help preserve affordable housing options for seniors and low-income housings. Grant a dependable and minimum annual increase to offset raising costs for park owners and reduce uncertainty of inflation and market fluctuation. And for the city, it would allow streamlined annual administrative work and minimize disruptions and produce transparency and fairness and subsequent to the housing policies. There would be no impact on the city. In summary, this ordinance amendment offers a balanced and compassionate solution, protecting residents, supporting park owners, and signifying city procedures. It reflects Lancaster's continued leadership in advancing fair, predictable, and community-focused housing policies. I respectfully request that the council approve this amendment, section 11.08.60 of the Lancaster Municipal Code. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them.
When you say there's no impact on the city, there's a great impact on the city as far as stabilization of where people live.
Well,
Correct.
the mobile home parks is one of the lower income residents within the city. And we want to maintain that and make sure that we have an opportunity that for people that are low income or senior citizens, that they have a place to live at an affordable cost.
Perfect. Peter Gutenteri, you wanted to speak only if there's opposition. Okay, perfect. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Any conversation? I'll close the public hearing.
I'm going to make a motion to approve PH1, approving ordinance 1142.
I'll second.
Let's vote. Passes with 4 yes votes. Thank you. PH2.
Good afternoon, Vice Mayor and council members. Here today to speak with you regarding our city smoke shops. The first thing I'd like to do is play a video that we recently produced here at the city. We can get someone to start that video up, please. Actually, that's the slide presentation. There's a video that should play prior to that.
Last 4 days, the last week, we've been operating and looking into different smoke shops. Those smoke shops sell everything. Some of the stuff is legal, some of it's not illegal. Some of the stuff is very dangerous for children. Some of it's disguised as candy for kids. So they came in, the state came in with us, and it's for safety, for taxes, for everything that you can think of. It needs to be done properly if our kids are going to ingest it or consume it.
We're going to keep it going, and that includes doing more of these inspections. These smoke shops have, I feel like, pretty much gone unchecked, and that's not just within our city, but I think it's in many areas within this county. Next steps for us is to work through our schools, which we currently do. In fact, thanks to our vice mayor, we're in this together. It's not just us. We are a community, and we have to work as a community. We're looking for alternatives. We're trying to identify the root causes of the problems in our city and address those root causes. Yeah, you have to go back to that beginning slide. Thank you. First, I want to ask you to bear with me. I've got allergies, so I have a cough drop to make sure I don't cough on you this whole presentation. So yes, today we're here to talk about the smoke shops within our city and really what's going on inside of them. I think we're faced with a concerning problem with the number of smoke shops that we have operating in an unlawful manner within our city. So we currently have 196 active tobacco retailers within the city that are licensed. Approximately 76 of those are smoke shops. And what their intention is to sell regulated tobacco and smoking equipment. These shops are regulated by federal, state, and local agencies. So as the video mentioned, we recently conducted a multi-agency operation where, well, first I want you to know, for the past 13 months, we've conducted inspections of these smoke shops. Nearly half of them we've inspected, 30 locations, which includes, over the past 3 weeks, we went to 22 shops. And I want you to know that all were in some type of violation or had some type of product within them that was confiscated or that should not have been there. These are examples of some of the products sold at smoke shops that have cannabis in them. One of the great concerns with this is the packaging of some of these products and the fact that they are attractive to children. As you see a Wonka bar up there, and if that bar was flipped over, it would tell you on that particular product contains medical marijuana. There's some other fine examples of some of the products that are sold there. And as you can see, this packaging looks like some of the normal stuff that our kids would walk into a candy store and get. Who remembers Goldfish? Well, this is actually a product that has marijuana in it, and it has the exact same likeness of the goldfish that we all are familiar with. There's another product sold at these stores that's called Kratom. I'm going to try and say the name of this product. It is 7-hydroxymidogrgen 9, otherwise known as 7-OH. I think I got that off. I think I pulled that off. So this is an extremely powerful substance, and it is, I'm told it's highly addictive like opioid, and it's a product that's derived from the kratom plant. And this stuff, I'm told, is 13 to 14 times stronger than morphine, can be. And within our stores, within some of our shops, not all of them, this stuff is openly sold. I put this picture there because I wanted you to see the different forms of it. And actually, those tablets that you see up there are like a tablet of 100 milligrams of this stuff that you supposedly can control your intake. But this stuff is no joke. And by the way, we've learned that it's been responsible for 6 deaths within Los Angeles County. Mushrooms. Some of us may remember the term magic mushrooms. These are products that contain psilocybin, which is found inside these particular types of mushrooms. And as you can see, this packaging is much like a chocolate bar. And there's also, the last slide shows that we have it in what's called an energy drink. Make no joke about it. These products are a hallucinogen, you know, and they can have hallucinogenic effects on an individual. Nitrous oxide. Nitrous oxide is sold in varying sizes, and there's actually, as you can see in some of those containers, different coloring, and sometimes you'll find them with a Hello Kitty on it. Nitrous oxide is controlled by the Food and Drug Administration, and it causes euphoria. It's also associated with risks like asphyxiation and long-term neurological damage if used excessively. My time with the Sheriff's Department, I dealt extensively with this, and it was definitely bought by kids and sold in parties for $10 a balloon, and there were deaths associated to it. We have these products within several of our smoke shops right now. Weapons inside these locations, and there are some illegal weapons that we found in there, including brass knuckles, switchblades. You can buy a taser in here, and I don't think a lot of folks probably realize that tasers, we have state law that says no minor can purchase a taser without a parent. I believe there's an age of 16 and over, but they have to have a parent, no felon, and if you've had an assault conviction, you cannot own a taser or buy a taser. And my concern is, are these questions being asked? Are they looking into who's purchasing these tasers? So this is a look at some of the paraphernalia you'll find in these shops. For me in particular, the concern is there's some of these products that some of our individuals who are trying to beat these addictive habits can get access to very easily. And then the picture on the right, I don't think it requires an explanation. I don't quite understand that. But so this last slide I have for you is the heat map of our crime in our area. And these are our serious crimes, our Part 1 crimes. And what we did is we put the smoke shops that we have within our city, and I believe we are missing a few. And as you can see, in our very high dense crime areas, there appears to be an abundance of these shops. Now, there's no way I can stand here and tell you that these shops are responsible for these crimes or for these areas, but I think it's interesting that we do see them heavily in that area. So in closing, I just want you to know that I quite often speak with school administrators, and thanks to the Vice Mayor, we actually meet with the superintendents of the schools. And I am hearing from some administrators of an increase in seeing some of these products in their schools, as well as vapes, which children cannot have. So I think these businesses, because they put unregulated, uninspected, as well as untaxed products in their stores, including tobaccos, they're eroding the integrity of the legitimate businesses that we have in the city. And I also want to say 76 is a lot of shops. That's a lot for a city our size. I believe they pose a serious health and safety risk to our community, and it's something that we need to look into other ways to have more control, and especially on these ones that are operating unlawfully. So I would like today recommend that council adopt an urgency ordinance imposing an interim moratorium on certain new tobacco retail businesses and expansion of existing businesses, and also known as smoke shops. That's the end of my presentation. I'll be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Rod, you want to give kudos to the Criminal Justice Commission because they worked on this for several months and have been bringing it up at the Criminal Justice Commission.
Yes, sir, absolutely. Our Criminal Justice Commission recognized this issue early on and really spoke with us, which we had already had an eye on it, but this really got us going. In fact, I believe Commissioner Little was in here with us today. I want to thank him for the push on this problem. So, and we're not letting up. We're not letting up. We're going to have more inspections. I have concerns about whether or not they're selling to juveniles, so we are going to figure a way to get into those shops and find out if we have youth purchasing some of these items.
Have you seen, when I went into there, I could see no use, legitimate use that would benefit people in these shops. Is there any?
You know, they sell so many products, and I want to thank you, sir, for coming out with us on the operation. It's really, really hard to say. In fact, I believe one of the photos showed that they had these products that have cadmium in it, or kratom in them, and they're a candy-like looking substance, as well as cannabis. And just next to it, in the very next case, are regular M&Ms. We've seen shops, we've seen a shop that had a large amount of sex products in there. And so it's almost like these shops are turning into kind of a swap meet environment, and that's not to speak poorly about swap meets, but when you have all these unchecked and unregulated items, it's a problem.
There's a lot, what I noticed, there's a lot of gateway products in these places that people are using that they graduate from and they go to the next product up. This kratom, they were selling it as candy. It's 14 times as powerful as morphine. And I just, when I saw what there was doing it, it was, they took out 23 boxes of illegal products from the one shop that I went into, one of the shops that I went into. It's just something needs to be done. Something needs to be done to regulate these shops. So if you'll have a seat, Rod, we'll call
sir.
some people up to hear what they have to say. We might need you to come back up.
Yes, sir.
Jessica? Jessica? Welcome.
Thank you. Good afternoon. So bear with me because I was just made aware of this meeting today, so I don't have anything prepared. But I'll start off by saying good afternoon, council members. I'm here today to speak, number one, as a mother and also as a staff member who works at a school. I am very concerned to hear about the number of smoke shops selling illegal products that contain substances that are super dangerous and how these are so easily accessible to our children and our youth. You know, working at a school, I hear from so many people that I've met, you know, who also work at schools, parents with kids, on how things that they are finding students bringing to school, you know, vapes. I've heard of awful stories about, you know, students showing up somewhat high. I'm here for two reasons. Number one, I want to thank the men and women officers that are out there. They're doing what they can to protect our community, to keep it safe. I am extremely thankful for that. And I'm here to ask whatever can be done, you know, for them to, I guess, come up with stricter laws, rules for all of these smoke shops to prevent all of these things that are happening, to hopefully lower the amount of victims out there. You know, I hope that you can really hear me, because it's our youth, it's our children, you know, we have to think of them. And it makes me so sad to hear how things are so easily accessible to them. And whatever can be done to prevent them to have access to that, to prevent anybody else, you know, getting hurt or dying, that is all that I ask.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you for your time.
Mark?
Council members and Vice Mayor Marvin. First, the reason why I'm here is because when I was going over the agenda, I saw this on there, and I had some questions because, for one, I've been with the chambers out here for a long time, and their business. So a lot of times I'll get called when they feel that, you know, their conditional use permit, CUP, was pulled, or they're having issues with it. But Rod, I got to thank you, man. That was an awesome presentation that you did. You actually answered all the questions I had. You know, it's important that we take care of the kids in this valley, because they're our next leaders that are coming in. And heaven forbid our leaders are doing drugs of any sort, you know? So we need to really watch what's happening here. And, you know, a lot of the adults there, you know, and we're talking about our homeless out there, well, the adults, they go in there and these homeless adults are able to go in there and buy some of these products, and then they get out there and they give them to the kids, or they abduct a kid and they give it to the kid. I mean, that's just bad stuff. So my questions were answered. The only question I have is, it's considered a moratorium. That's considered temporary, isn't it?
It is. When I saw what was happening, it affected me in a way that we need to cut it off, and we need to cut it off now. So the moratorium stops that. But when we throw a blanket on something and just do it that way, we need to make sure that we do it correctly.
Right.
So this will give the city attorney 45 days to go back and fine tune it. It will get it into the point of, if we threw a blanket over it, was it too far over everything? Is there some things that we need to let in and to do? So it gives us the ability to do that. So we'll be back with this in 45 days to make it permanent, hopefully.
Okay. These are businesses, so will they have a chance to fix what they're doing that's not right, or are they just going to be shut down completely?
They'll have an opportunity to do what's right, but if you saw the volume, when they're selling butane for the ingestion of into kids, the bottles are enough to fill a lighter about 50 billion times. So it's for the consumption of an individual. The nitrous oxide is flavored. It's stuff that you would not want an adult to use, much less a child. So it was a huge amount. I don't know if they're going to be able to stay into business if they sell smoke products.
Right.
If they continue to sell what they're selling now, my intent would be to shut them down.
Okay. Well, the reason why I was here is just to make sure I could get some questions answered, so I know how to talk to the businesses that will call me, because they will. They do call me on certain things. If I feel I can't help them, then I feel that what's happening with them is not going to be fixable, then I just let them know. But this gives me a chance to see a video here with all the products that are out there and be able to tell them, if you don't believe what they're doing, just go and look at the video on the website. And if that doesn't change your mind, then there's something wrong. But thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay.
Regina? Welcome.
Hi, I would just like to start by saying thank you for addressing this issue. I personally work in an elementary, my husband's a high school teacher, so this doesn't just affect our home, it also affects just our life in general. I come to you as a concerned parent and resident of this community, raising 2 young boys here alongside my husband. I remember a time when people moved here because it was a safe place to raise a family, and now I've personally experienced many friends move away because they felt that was no longer the case. Today, I'm speaking to specifically express my serious concern regarding the illegal activities taking place in several of these smoke shops operating within Lancaster and their contribution to the decline of health and safety in our city. These establishments appear to be contributing to a growing number of safety issues, including increased drug use and homelessness in our area. The way some of these businesses are packaging cannabis and marketing their products to attract young kids is especially troubling and needs to be stopped. This type of targeting poses a real danger to the health and development of our youth and should not be tolerated in our community. I respectfully urge the city officials and law enforcement to investigate these businesses and take appropriate action to ensure that all operations within our city comply with the law and uphold public safety standards. Thank you for your time and attention to this matter. I believe that with your leadership, we can get our city back to the safe community that my husband and I remember growing up in. And I would just like to add to that, that I've been here for 40 years-ish. My husband's been here since the day he was born, so this is very important to us. I appreciate that you guys are working so hard with our law enforcement, and I hope that we can get even more backing to make sure that we get this back on track to where it used to be even 10, 15, 20 years ago. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your comments.
Thank you.
Brooke?
Good afternoon, members of the council and members of our community. I stand here today not just as a parent, but as a member of this community who deeply cares for our children, about their safety, their future, and the kind of environment we are raising them in. Right now, there are smoke shops in our neighborhoods potentially selling to underage kids and selling illegal products. Let's be clear, these shops are not a part of our community. They are not here to help families or invest in our neighborhoods. They are here to profit, even if that means putting our children in harm's way. We cannot and will not stand by and let this happen. Protecting our kids is not just a responsibility, it's our duty. Every child deserves to grow up safe, guided by positive examples, and free from the influence of those who exploit them for a quick dollar. I want to take the moment to thank the Lancaster Police Department for stepping up, for cracking down on these shops, and for enforcing the law and protecting our youth. Their work matters. They are showing that our community will not tolerate businesses that put profit before people. But this isn't just their fight, it's also ours. As parents, neighbors, and leaders, we must stand united, and together we can ensure our community remains a safe place, respectful, and hope for everyone that calls it a home. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your comments. Barry?
Council members, thank you for hearing me. First of all, I don't have any kind of speech prepared. All I can tell you is this. I've been up here since '88, and I've seen a lot of things, good and bad. This here with these smoke shops, to me, is something that's bad. You know, our kids growing up here have already so much to deal with. You know, so many pressures, so many influences. And when you disguise things like this in packaging that can actually lure them to the possible death, well, to me, that's scary, and it's unacceptable. I'd like to thank the Lancaster Police Department for their diligent effort in trying to make sure that this goes away. And I hope that we, as a community, will do everything in our power to make this go away. We have to save our kids. We have to save our kids. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Nicole?
Good afternoon, honorable city council members and vice mayor. I'm speaking here today first and foremost as a mother, as well as a licensed social worker who serves the children and families in need of services on a daily basis within the many communities that comprise the Antelope Valley. When I learned our local police took lawful enforcement action to shut down smoke shops that have been selling illegal substances to minors, I felt an enormous sense of gratitude and, more importantly, as a mother and as a professional, a sense of profound relief. There's nothing more comforting than knowing the children of our community are being made to feel safer due to the hard work and commendable efforts of our local law enforcement personnel who swore an oath to protect all of us. In my line of work, I see firsthand the devastating effects of addiction and the poor choices far too often. I see children whose innocence is stolen from them much too early in life, and the families who struggle tremendously to build their lives from the damage these poor choices inflict upon them. They are the primary reason this type of enforcement matters so much in order to preserve the common good of the community and that these wonderful officers serve so well. Their actions and our support as parents reminds our community, and in particular our children, that we care very deeply about their future, and that as adults and as mentors, we are willing to take a stand and protect them from harm as best as we can. I just want to express my deep appreciation and say thank you to these exemplary officers and our educators who diligently work together to achieve the goal of keeping our children and our neighborhood safe. Thank you.
Thank you. Dondra?
Good afternoon, Vice Mayor and Council. My name is Dondra Arcidiacono. I was born and raised here in the Antelope Valley, so I've been here for 59 years. My family came here in the early 1950s. I just want to extend a heartfelt thank for the Lancaster Police Department for taking action in your dedication and efforts in cleaning up our community and holding individuals and businesses accountable, especially those making illegal sales to underaged local youth in the smoke shops. Your commitment to enforcing the law and protecting our children's well-being is going to make a lasting impression and a positive impact on our community. I deeply appreciate your diligence, integrity, and your hard work on cleaning up our neighborhoods and restoring them to the safe, thriving community they once were. I know this task is difficult, especially with the world being the way it is today. But with the grace of God and your hard service, anything and everything will be achieved. I saw that video and I was shocked. I'm just so surprised of how accessible that is to our children. I've raised 3 kids here in the Antelope Valley, and I'm raising 4 of my grandchildren. And to know that they can go where they could buy M&Ms on the bottom shelf, and it's not even secluded away from where they can at hand's reach for them to get. Because not only, kids can go in there and steal that stuff with ease. I remember growing up, all the R-rated movies were in the back room. It wasn't accessible to us. There was a line where things for adults were put away so kids couldn't get to them. And now it's just at free range. To make $1, where's the integrity of our businesses here in the Antelope Valley? And I'm proud to be raised here in the Antelope Valley. I really am. I have ties here. So it just hurts my heart to see what's going on in our community. And I would just love it and appreciate it so much if we can just move forward and get this crap out of our community. Thank you.
Well said. Shelley?
I really feel for her. I don't even have children, and I was already going to cry before she got up and said what she said. It's just like unbelievably outrageous. I would just say this. I was gonna actually originally say that no amount of tax dollars can outweigh our children's lives, but then you were saying they're not even taxed, so I don't get that part at all. And then who could be for this? I mean, raise your hand. What one person could be for this? So I just don't even get why they're even here. And then I heard a parent say, we cannot and we will not stand for this. Somebody's going to get hurt then, right? A parent or a kid is going to get hurt because they're going to fight back. And so I'm really so appreciative of what you're going to do and what you have done and what you're going to do about this. So thank you very much.
Thank you. And just so everybody knows, this is the result of one parent. This whole thing started from one parent bringing it to us in regards to some of the products. And thank you, Rod. Thank you. Heather Varden.
Good afternoon, Vice Mayor and council members. My name is Heather Varden, and I want to sincerely thank the Criminal Justice Commission and the City Council for introducing this ordinance to reduce the number of smoke shops in our city. I'm speaking in strong support of this measure. We've seen too many of these shops opening near schools, parks, and family neighborhoods, places where our children should feel safe. The overconcentration of smoke shops brings blight, increases crime, and exposes our youth to harmful substances and influences that they shouldn't face here in our own community. This ordinance is a necessary step towards protecting our neighborhood and promoting the kind of business that reflect Lancaster's true values: health, safety, and community pride. I urge you to move forward to keep prioritizing the well-being of our residents. Thank you again to the Commission and the Council for your leadership and commitment to making Lancaster stronger and safer. Thank you.
Thank you, Heather. Jeff, did you want to say anything on behalf of the criminal justice? Jeff used to, or still does, chair our criminal justice.
Vice Mayor Chris, thank you, sir. Council members. Yeah, this has been one of these, having 5 daughters, and this affected one of my daughters. And after bringing it to the attention of the council and to Rod, Captain Bartlett, I can't thank you gentlemen enough. This council put a stop to it by putting the blanket on what they did. This is a testament to what this city does when they see something wrong. I've been involved with the criminal justice for, gosh, I don't know how many years now. And when the smoke shots came in, you saw them doing potpourri, the bath salts. That started it. The pipes and everything else were behind, like this lady said, were behind. You couldn't see it. You could not, they had magazines. It's graduated to this catch-all. Weapons, car parts. The nitrous oxide is absolutely amazing to me. And one of my daughters was affected by it. Doing great now. 2 years of having to deal with this. And I just cannot say that this has been one of these things that I took very personal. I still do. I do not understand why we are allowing these to continue to open up in centers, and I'm trying to understand, like a few people have said, what's the purpose? And but if it wasn't for this council, Vice Mayor, and what you've done, and every one of you have heard the story that I've shared with each one of you, and Captain Bartlett and Rod, I just can't thank you enough for what this city stands for. It's going to stop. And Vice Mayor, thank you, sir.
Anyone else like to speak? Come on up.
Thank you, Vice Mayor and Council. I wasn't even going to speak on this matter. My name is Mark Rithaler, but living in the Antelope Valley for 20 years now, I think there's 2 simple fixes to this. One, treat all smoke shops like an adult store, nobody under 21 allowed. Secondly, parents, feed your children in the morning. The only reason why kids go to smoke shops is to get their little treats and crap that they eat in the morning because they haven't had a nutritious breakfast. So they go to these places with other youth to group their money together to go in, cause mischief, do whatever they have to do to survive, which is pretty pathetic if you think about it. Our children should have no business being near a smoke shop whatsoever. Make it 21 and older to enter, and I think that'll change dramatically. Also, EBT, debit cards, whatever, when they go in, they literally buy a 50-cent item, a dollar item to get their cash back for whatever purpose they need the cash for. If you eliminate that rule, no more EBT cash back, you will see a dramatic drop in issues. It's pretty simple. Make it 21 and older. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Hi, Fran.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. This is a very harsh reality. And this is just one instance of what's happening to our youngsters today. They're not like those packages of candy, they're like candy. Now, what's happening to the manufacturing that's packaging this stuff and putting it on the market and allowing these shops to sell it? They shouldn't even have it on the market, in my opinion. But if they do, like Mark said, maybe 21 and older, hopefully they're smart enough that they won't buy it. But the problem stems back to the manufacturer and the packaging. Because if the kid doesn't, the child doesn't see that, you see an M&M and the packages, pictures that I saw, they look so real, just as what regular candy. Now, what's going to happen also, you might even see some of that in Halloween night. Because even some parents probably don't even know what's in those packages. They themselves maybe go to a store and they see it, maybe not in a smoke shop, but it could be any other shop, and see this pack. Well, they think it's the proper type of product, so they'll buy it and give it to their kids, not knowing what's in them. But thank you also from my bottom of my heart. Thank God, my children are, I have 5 great-grandchildren now, but that they don't come across this. But also the schools should let, these packages should, pictures of all this taken to the different schools, especially the youngsters that don't understand, and they're more visible of what they see, and they think that that's what they're supposed to buy. So, thank you again, and God bless you all, and God bless, and hopefully we can get rid of this. But when a company comes in to open a shop, are they not told or asked what they're going to be selling, what kind of products?
There will be a new reality for smoke shops in Lancaster.
Thank you. And God bless you. Thank you all.
Come on up.
Oh, right here? Okay, I don't think I need that, but all right. Thank you for letting me talk. Thank you, first of all, to everybody that's involved in this. I'm a father of 6. I live on the east side. There's a smoke shop just 4 blocks from my house. They sell everything that was in that video. One of the things I think the community really needs to understand is when you talk about unregulated cannabis, you're talking about cannabis that includes all types of other things. So we're talking about things that are laced with heavy metals, laced with pesticides. Some of those things are 100 to 1,000 times over legal limits, over limits that will kill someone. And I think that's a very important thing to make clear to the community. We're not talking about just something that's unregulated, and we're not talking about cannabis as normal cannabis. We are talking about something that is incredibly dangerous, incredibly toxic to our kids, causes cancer, birth defects, reproductive harm, all types of things. So we really are talking about the overall health of our young people in this town and in our community. Thank you again for everything that you're doing to protect my kids and everybody else's. If there's anything that I can do, Chief, anything that I can do, you let me know, all right? And, you know, and my youth are at your disposal as well, all right? Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Michelle Royal.
Good afternoon, council. I was sitting next to Mr. Little, and we talked about the fact that I'm a property manager. So he wanted me to tell you what my experience is. I manage a lot of properties that have smoke shops in them. And I will tell you that the smoke shops who do not take the regulations seriously, in those properties, I have far more crime. In the properties where they are respectfully run, and they are run the way they're supposed to be run, I have far less crime, far less vandalism. So I can't necessarily say that those two things go hand in hand, but I would strongly believe that they do. So I thank the city of Lancaster for what you are going to be doing. Yes, a blanket 45 days is important, but you have an amazing city attorney who will come back with a regulation that will help all of us, our families, our children, our property managers, our businesses, and our community as a whole. So I appreciate what you're doing. Thank you.
Thank you. Just for those of you that are wondering, Robert's Rules of Order says I can call up people. They don't have to have a card. They just need to state their name and do all that kind of stuff, so.
Yeah, thank you. David Harris, Community Development Center USA. I have worked with the youth for over 35 years, and not only does the smoke shop chief harm our community and the aspects around community, it also harms the mental health of individuals. Just looking at some of the photos that you provided today tells me that there's definitely some mental health issues going on to achieve the ultimate high. And that's really what this is about. How do I achieve the ultimate high with a gas mask? I think having that available to children when they walk in the door, they may not be able to be at the age to purchase it, but just to see it and start to give me the ideas of when I turn 18 or when I turn 21, or, you know, we all go through a phase of progression in growing up. And I think that the overall mental health, you just heard from a business owner that says those that are following the regulations, the crime is a little bit lower in those areas. I attribute that to your map that you showed. And I think you spoke as the expert today, so thank you. And thank you to the city for getting a police department, right? Because now you can manage things differently and take advantage of having, and you pick the right guy for the job. So, so thank you. But think of the mental health aspect that you'll be improving in our schools as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, I'm going to close the public hearing. Rod, I think everybody loves you for what you did. We like you. I appreciate what you've done. I know that you've done other sting operations and everything, and we go out with you on those and everything. Having our own police force allows us to do that. It's not discounting the sheriff's department. The sheriff's department still is out there doing the day-to-day work, is still out there doing everything. But 3 weeks ago, we did a cleanup, and this young lady came out of one of the underground drainage places. And I asked myself, what caused this? How can we help this, not only this individual, but how can we help stop this? If you saw the contents of what's underneath there, what's on the floor of those drainage, the needles, the drugs, everything that's there, it would be shocking to you. I think you'll see the city of Lancaster, all of us, protecting our kids. And that's what our intent will be, to protect the kids. So I'm open.
Sir, may I briefly add, I just forgot to mention when we were up there, our brothers and sisters from the Sheriff's Department, they're in this with us all the way. They participated with us, and they are part of this solution that we're going after.
I saw them there. They were good. I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to, adopt the urgency ordinance 11-43 on PH2.
I'll second.
Let's vote. We have 4 yes votes. Thank you all for speaking. PH3, I'll open the public hearing. Allison.
Vice Mayor Chris, council members, before you today for conduct of a public hearing is the question of whether to add a ballot measure to the ballot for the election next year, which we'll be taking up as NB1 in a moment, to consider whether to submit a measure to the voters to amend Section 201 of the City of Lancaster Charter to authorize the City Council to enact an ordinance to first, increase the number of council members from 4 to 5, second, add the office of vice mayor, and third, transition from at-large to district-based elections for council members consistent with the California Voting Rights Act of 2001. Today's agenda item is merely to hold a public hearing. There is no action to be taken today. We have to provide 2 public hearings before we can then wait another 21 days and take up the action. So we will have this public hearing today. We'll have another one in December, and then you will have before you the action to put to consider whether to put the ballot measure before the people at the first meeting in January of 2026. So that's the schedule, and that's what's before you. So today we're just listening. It's a public hearing. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Clarify the adding in the at-large. You're actually saying there'll be 5 council people. You will have an at-large vice mayor. You will have an at-large mayor.
Correct. So, which would make for a total composition of the council of 7. At-large elected mayor, at-large elected vice mayor, and district-based council members, 5 of them. That's the proposal that would be authorized under the charter if the ballot measure were to pass. It would not be mandated. There's some cases going before the United States Supreme Court right now on Voting Rights Act laws that may impact whether it's necessary or appropriate to make the change. So we're leaving flexibility is the proposal under this ballot measure.
Since we're still at a public hearing, can you explain the legal aspect of it, of what it costs, that it has cost cities?
Sure.
$15 million to
Yes.
Fight against this?
Yes.
And nobody has won?
Yes. So there have been many lawsuits filed against public agencies, cities, and other public agencies seeking to force them to move to district-based elections. Not a single public agency has successfully defended against such a lawsuit, and attorney's fees awards in those cases have raised as high as $15 million against the public agency. So this is a prudent step by this council to consider putting it before the people of the city to determine whether to add this option into our charter and to give us the opportunity to take the time as the Voting Rights Act, the Federal Voting Rights Act is being considered by the United States Supreme Court, and determine whether that will have any impact on the provisions of the California Voting Rights Act, and take that time and that opportunity to avoid a lawsuit that could cost millions and millions of dollars, but at the same time also protect this council and this community from some of the impacts we've seen in other jurisdictions from district-based elections.
Anything else?
I have a question. Can you explain, so from my understanding, we're doing parallel planning.
Yes.
We're providing an opportunity and space for the community to come speak at these public hearings, ask questions. What if we just skipped this part? What would be the result if we were then sued and we were mandated to take a certain action? What are the two different courses of action that we could take if the city doesn't come out and voice their opinions and have their questions answered?
Sure. So I would hesitate to predict what would exactly happen to us, but I can speak of what has happened to some of our neighbors.
Please do.
Okay. So our neighbors throughout the Southern California and the state, frankly, have been sued in circumstances to force district-based elections where they did not take steps such as these to do it on their own. In those circumstances, every single public agency has lost, and every single public agency has paid large sums of attorney's fees. So what we're trying to do is avoid both of those circumstances by bringing this ballot initiative forward. The council cannot simply change the method of election on its own because it is set forth in the charter of the city, which was enacted by the people, and that charter mandates that our council is elected at large, all 5 of you, with a directly elected mayor. That is set forth in the charter. You do not have the power to change that on your own. So what you are doing is taking the step you can take, which is to hold these public hearings and consider putting before the people the question of whether to change the charter to avoid the very costly litigation and attorney's fees that may be incurred if you were to be sued to force a change to district-based elections.
And then Allison, a follow-up question. For those cities who were forced to change, did they get any say? Did their community members get to come out and voice what they thought would be the best course of action?
Yes, so under the California Voting Rights Act, there is a process and a set of hearings for setting the districts and how the lines will be drawn and how the setup of the districts will be determined. But the cost associated with that approach and just not doing anything could be really, really impactful to the city's budget.
So they paid not only to go through litigation, but then they were paid to correct themselves? Is
Correct,
that-
yes. To hire the very expensive demographers to set up the districting, yes.
My understanding is there's a case in Louisiana that's
Yes.
before the
United States Supreme Court.
United States Supreme Court that's already been heard. They're just waiting to rule on it.
They were heard once, and then I believe they sent it back down for some additional briefing, and it's coming back up. So I believe we expect that the Supreme Court will hear arguments on it in sometime in 2026, and we would expect a decision in and around June and July of 2026.
And if that decision comes down that says it's unconstitutional or whatever decision it comes, can this council take a different position than what's voted on?
That will depend on what the Supreme Court says, right? The Supreme Court could rule in a way that only addresses the Voting Rights Act, which is the federal legislation, and doesn't give any insight into the California Voting Rights Act. Or they could rule in a way that implicates the constitutionality of the California Voting Rights Act. And right now, we have no way to predict what they will do. And so that's why we've left this flexibility in this proposal to allow the opportunity for that ruling to come down and to react, but also not expose the city to those very high attorney's fees and litigation costs.
So what you're saying is that we're still moving forward with this, but we're protecting ourselves against the lawsuits.
Correct. That's what's before you for a public hearing today. We will be back again at the December meeting, and then you will take action or you will have before you to take action, whether you take action or not is up to you, at the January meeting, the first meeting in January of '26.
Any other questions?
I just hope this gets well publicized, because sometimes people think, I've already saw some social media out there that, again, you can tell that people are so misinformed. And they do not understand complications, and they think there's nefarious things going on. And as frustrating as it is, because you can get, I think it was well spelled out. We're hearing both sides, and it's almost damn if you will, and damn if you don't. And at the end of the day, can be very costly.
Yes, that's what we're really trying to avoid.
Yep.
Thank you.
Sure.
Michele? Yep.
You wrote down districts.
It says PH3.
I'm not sure, I'm going to say the right thing to the right. Well, I was thinking, I didn't mind the 4 to the 5, but then when you said you want to add the vice mayor, and then you got the mayor, well, then it goes back to 6. It makes it too even, so you don't have a tiebreaker. So I don't know if that's how it works, but that's what I am hearing.
Can I correct you real quick?
Yes.
It is 5 council people, which will be 5 districts, and at large, which means the entire city will vote for the mayor, and it means that the entire city will vote for the vice mayor. So you'll have 2 individuals that are elected by the entire city. You will have 5 individuals that are elected within their districts.
For a
That
total of
way,
7.
you still have leadership over the entire council. You have leadership moving you forward. We see in other cities that it's a lack of leadership that creates the problem. So we're trying to address that. And it's to allow the entire city to vote for mayor, allow the entire city to vote for the vice mayor, and they will be staggered. So the mayor and the vice mayor will have different terms and different, so it's not, you won't lose them both at the same time.
Okay, oh, all right, so the people are voting for everybody, but but at least you'll have 2 over the whole city, and then you'll have the 5 over a district.
Correct.
Okay, well, I don't like districts, I like them all to be just all for Lancaster, so that's, that's my thing on
I
that.
think our council agrees with you, but our council also understands, the question was put out, what can we buy for $15 million? What can we do for our constituents for $15 million? What can we do for the kids for $15 million? It's a lot to spend to do what we can do where you have a 0 chance of winning.
Okay, so it all comes down to the money part of it, right? Like, to do it so that
It's the scare of the money, the scare of
Yeah.
the lawsuit that you're going to have to do this. A lot of other cities, both our southern cities have been sued to take this into districts, and both of them have lost.
Okay, so if we do it like this, we don't have to spend the 15 million on this?
That's correct.
Okay, thank you.
You good with that?
I'm good with that.
Okay. Okay, I'll close the public hearing. We don't have to do any action on this.
Not only do you not have to, but you can't. So we have to wait until after we conduct both public hearings and then a period of time.
You know that just makes me want to do it.
I
now.
know it does. I know. As soon as it came out of my mouth, I was, poor phrasing, Allison.
That's not going to work.
We do need to wait until after the second public hearing.
Okay, well, we're gonna,
I think that's to give the public ample time to respond, correct?
Yes, anytime we want to amend the charter, we have to give lots of opportunity for the public to weigh in, including 2 public hearings, one of which has to be after business hours, which will be our next one. And then we have to wait an additional period of time after that second public hearing before we can actually take the action.
okay. We will take no action on it then. NB1. Andrea, you don't get to do this, but every 2 years.
Good afternoon, Vice Mayor and Council. I stand before you today to speak on the staff report regarding our April 14th, 2026 general municipal election. So before you are several resolutions, one calling the election for 2 council member seats, requesting the Board of Supervisors to render specified services, also a resolution adopting regulations for candidates regarding the filing fees and the candidate statements, and also providing a resolution if there were to be a special runoff election in the event of a tie. Also, before you are several, a couple of professional service agreements regarding the services that we will need to ensure that we have the proper all-mail ballot election. One is for Hart InterCivic, who provides the tabulation software, the equipment, and associated services. The other one is for ProVote, who provides ballot production and the print and ensuring that the ballots are actually mailed out. The other ones is SnailWorks, an agreement we have with the City of Whittier, who provides some GEM software, which allows us to be able to have reporting and keep up with the different ballots as they come in and they're returned, and being able to verify those signatures, which also is why we need to have the county render services, because they also provide this signature verification for us. The nomination period begins on December 22nd and ends on January 16th at 5 p.m. I strongly encourage individuals who are interested to make an appointment to pull and file papers. We also need to keep in mind the observations of holidays, especially with the nomination period beginning on December 22nd, which is the week of Christmas, which is why, especially if you're going to pull that week, it's definitely important to try to go ahead and have an appointment, because we like to sit down with everyone and go over the packet so that they are well informed on, to the best of our knowledge, to what needs to be or what is required of them. Other than that, unless you have questions, I have nothing else further.
Can you go over what happens if an incumbent doesn't
If an incumbent doesn't,
file?
if they don't file, then they won't be on the ballot. We have it listed that they pull the papers, but if they don't file, then you cannot be placed on the ballot.
Don't you give them an extra 5 days?
Only in the event that one of the incumbents does not run, but otherwise, if you don't show up for your appointment, you don't come by January 16th, 5 p.m. to file your papers, you will not be on that ballot.
Okay. No speaker cards.
Well, if there's not any discussion, I'll make the motion to approve NB1 with the adoption of resolution number 25-61, 25-62, 25-63, and 25-64.
And take actions 5 and 6 as stated on the agenda?
And stated, so stated by the attorney.
I second that.
We have a motion second. Let's vote. Passes with 4 yes votes. Council reports. Lauren?
Yes, so I,
Sorry to wake you.
that's okay. I just wanted to comment on this entire meeting, and then I also have something related to introduce. But the word community came up so many times. I don't need to remind everyone that I'm also a mother. I like to remind them of that. But the word community came up, and I'm going to just poke fun at Mr. McNutt. I'm poking fun, sir. But we asked the question, what's the impact to the community? And I can tell you, every decision this council makes, every decision you as community members, parents, business owners, every decision you make impacts the city. whether you can see it directly in front of you or it touches somebody 2 or 3 decisions later on. And the fact that, as we like to joke, we circled the wagons, the whole community came up. I can't remember the last time we've had so many speaker cards on an item. And it was all for, we must do everything we can to protect our community. Of course, we talked about our youth, but I know I can speak for everyone. It expands beyond our youth. Our youth those are our most treasured possessions that we have in this community. But I feel that way about you. I feel that way about you. I feel that way about you, Mr. Little. It's our community. And so many people said, they're a bad actor, let's get rid of them. We must stop this. So I just want to highlight the fact that it took one parent, one voice to say no. It took another community member, Mr. Mayor, Vice Mayor, no. And then it took our community employees, our community coming together, you know, our sheriff's department, our community-led police department, to say no. And I just imagine, what would this community look like if we all could just say no, 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 when we all come together. And it's not me and mine, as someone recently said, it's our community. There's so many things that we can disagree upon, and I welcome those disagreements, but community. Are we leading with love? Are we leading with our community at the center of our forefront purpose? So with that, I will relate it to, we had a community event. We had a Halloween haunt. I will say it was an incredible event. I think it was even bigger than last year. The fact that we did it again at the soccer complex was incredible. It was spacious. All the events were free. It was a good event. It was a good time. Thank you so much to the different community members and partners who came out to support this event. Thank you to the community members who brought out their kids and just had a good time. So with that, I'll introduce the video.
This is what Lancaster's about, is about families, about kids, about giving them something to do, about making sure that there's stuff out there for them to do to keep their attention, and that makes Lancaster a better place.
This is our second year at this location. Last year I thought it was big. This year is even bigger. So it just, you know, this is what it's all about as a city manager, is bringing the community out and giving them a safe place to recreate during Halloween. So just thank you to the community for coming out and supporting us.
Big shout out to our team, our special events team. They do a fantastic job. They start preparing for this in the spring to line up all of our vendors, to line up all the activities. So it's a lot of hard work and a lot of time that goes into it, but we love it.
The jumpers and the pumpkin decorating. The robot one that was over there.
The dinosaurs.
Feels incredible. Everyone's having such a good time. Look around. There's so much to do. There's so many kiddos running around. We have some teenagers hanging out too. It's been great. Continue just coming out, showing up for each other, communicating, and just having a good time. There'll be lots of opportunities. The city puts on some phenomenal seasonal events, and I hope to see everyone there.
Raj?
Yes, sir. Well said, Lauren. You know, this is our community, and we're going to be taking care of our community, and we love our community. So what I'm going to show you guys, the video is also about the community. I want to shout out to High Desert Medical Group. They've been doing this Senior Expo from last 35 years, and I had opportunity to be there. And I've been going there last few years, and I enjoy being there. I see friends all the time over there. And there's a video that you guys going to show. This is 35th anniversary. So it's amazing how long they've been doing this, since 91. Why is it important? Because this, if you look around, it's all senior citizens, and some of them, they volunteer. They've been volunteering for 20 years, people I know. And that's why to recognize them, appreciate them is very important. All the senior citizens, like they volunteer, they retired, they can doing a lot of other things, but they're here volunteering, helping other people, and that's what is Antelope Valley about. That's what is Lancaster, our community is about, helping others. It's great because they're also feeding them, and there are like so many other things, activities going on, and it's truly great to be part of.
Also really phenomenal about this event is the vibe. We know so many of our seniors don't get to spend enough time with other people, with friends, with family.
So it's just really a great day for seniors to find out the resources that are available to them and have a good time and get a free lunch.
We have always been a great team. City of Lancaster, High Desert Medical Group, and the Antelope Valley Press.
I'm just getting acknowledged for doing the things that I love doing. And I love this community, and I love helping other people and giving back to people, and it just is a really great feeling.
Ken?
Wanted to pass some information along. I know we've all been busy up here the last 2 to 3 weeks with the different meetings, the boards that we attend. I don't know if Marvin's going to speak about the NCTC actions, but one of the things that we have been doing on a regular basis is meeting with the schools. So we meet with the superintendents on a monthly basis, and started a little over a year ago with an issue, and that's what got us into the rhythm of meeting on a regular basis. The vice mayor heads that up today. And today, the action that we took on the smoke shops, I have a big suspicion, and probably with some accuracy, that the action that we took today is going to have an impact that's going to impact those, both the grade schools and the high schools, in a positive way. Because when we talk about some of the issues that the administrators have shared with us, there's got to be some relationship to some of them products that are being sold illegally that get into the hands of our youth. And we've already said that, beat it at horse. But again, I think it'll be the next meeting coming up with the administrators. I think it'll be some positive conversation going back and forth. And I think we'll have an impact, too, on truancy. Because that was one of the items that was shared in the monthly meetings. So just wanted to pass that along.
And one of the biggest things that we're finding out from those meetings with the superintendents from the different schools, it's not always the kids. Most of the time, it's the parents. And it's the parents that need a whooping. I'll leave it at that. But some of you are wondering what took place at the NCTC, which is the North County Transportation Commission. We talked with them in regards to closing of the Metrolink. And the members that vote there did not go to the NCTC to create a motion or to do anything or to ask them if it was okay to close the Metrolink. We went there for help. We went there for help to ask them, can you help us with something? Is there something that you can do that will stop the stem? It was met with animosity. It was met with skepticism. Many things we've told individuals on the NCTC what's taken place over the last 7 years. And we've brought it up to the NCTC board for the last 7 years that we need help. There was skepticism. The Metrolink actually threatened us to sue us with because of the Air Quality Act. And they threatened to sue us if we closed it because of the air quality. I reminded them that we will be doing a bus bridge with electric buses, and they were a little taken aback by that. We were met with, it was told to us that one of the members of this council, which is Lauren, was member of the MetroLink, and the statement was done that she did nothing, okay? But she did do a lot of things. She did a lot of things. Just because it's not done in open session, she met with them, she talked with them, she talked about more security, she's talked with them about doing things, but it was not received well. I did explain to them that we came there for help, and the bottom line is we're going to meet again. We did give them the time limit, that it is our intention of closing the MetroLink January 1st. We will give them a 30-day notice December 1st, so it would give them an entire month for us to all come up with a mutual solution. That's what I'm hoping for. We are also contemplating putting it on the ballot and seeing what the citizens of Lancaster actually would like to do. So there's some things we haven't forgot about it. It's not that we're not making a decision. We're actually reaching out for help to try to get that from our different partners. So we'll move on. City Manager.
Yes, so a couple quick updates. In the spirit of community, we have a number of community events coming up in the next week or two. The first is, if you're looking for a safe event to do with your little ones, the Lancaster Community Center is having a trunk or treat event on Friday, October 31st. So Halloween falls on Friday, and this year they get to have their trunk or treat on Friday, so that works out well. The other event, the very next day, is our Day of the Drafts. It used to be Fields of the Drafts, but now that it's moved over to the fairgrounds this year, it will be this Saturday, November the 1st, 12 to 5. Get your tickets now. I know they're selling out, so if you plan to buy them sooner than later. And then the last event on November the 8th, and this piggybacks on what we did at the beginning of today's meeting by recognizing waste management, but we're going to do another Love Your City cleanup event. This will be from J8 to Lancaster Boulevard, 15th to 10th Street West. If you go to our website, you can pull up a code that will take you to the waiver form and give you all the information. I think we're meeting over on 15th Street West at 8 a.m. at Grace Chapel. And then from there, we'll go out and clean up the community and then come back and enjoy a good lunch as a team. So looking forward to that event. And then last, I'm going to actually turn it over to you, Rod, to talk more about what you're doing in terms of the more recent operation that you did this past week.
Yes, sir, thank you. So one of the things that the council, the vice mayor, first things that was pointed out to me when I got here is our issues on Sierra Highway with the sex trafficking. So we've been working on that continuously, including outreach, trying to get the young women who are being sex trafficked out of that life, trying to identify the individuals who are involved in that, and then also trying to get rid of some of the root causes, one of which are the individuals who go and hire these young women. So over the past couple of days, we've done some operations. They're commonly known in law enforcement as John Stings. I don't know why, but we conducted multiple operations, a couple operations, and we arrested 8 individuals for soliciting prostitution. Those individuals are arrested and booked, and their vehicles are towed and impounded. So that is one of the things that the council has pointed out that they really want to see removed from our city. So we're steadfast on that. We're going to continue to work on that as well. So.
Thank you. That's it for me.
City Clerk.
This is the time to address the City Council Agency Authority on non-agendized matters. Speaker cards may be found on the back table of the council chambers. If you have completed one, please ensure that you have given it to us so that you may be recognized. Individual speakers are limited to 3 minutes each. Please keep in mind, state law prohibits council from acting on items that are not on the agenda, and your matter may be referred to the city manager. Thank you.
Heather Brown. Welcome
I
back.
know you missed me. Well, you're at 2 in the afternoon, or 1, is it 1? You start at 1?
1:30.
Now? 1:30, okay. How come not 5 anymore? Anyway, so, I'm here to let you know that the American Water Works Association has released a statement regarding forever chemicals in the water, because I guess they have a federal standard now of 4 PPT, which is parts per trillion. Even though these elements, what I'm talking about, the PFAS and the PFOS and the polyfluoroalkyl kill, basically. Out here, it's 10 PPT. I got that directly from the water company, so that's rather high. And anyway, what they released stating was that because everyone has, forever chemicals in their system, their blood now, apparently that renders vaccines useless, especially in children and elderly. Just thought you might want to know that, because they were pushing that vaccine, but because of the forever chemicals, and everyone has it depending more or less where you live, how much is in the water, but here I'm sure it's rather high. But I wanted to let you know that the Phos-Chek, okay, the red foam, and you probably already know this, the Phos-Chek they don't spray directly on the fires, if you'll notice, is toxic. Not when it has the water added to it and it's sprayed over the fire, but you might as well throw mud over the fire. I mean, when the water evaporates and becomes particulate, it can blow around in the air. And if you go to their, Perimeter Solutions is the company that currently manufactures Phos-Chek. It's PHOSCHEK. And it has things like ammonium nitrate, lauryl alcohol, diethylene glycol monobutyl ether. I didn't think it's a fertilizer-based product. You probably already know that, Vice Mayor Christ, being in the firefighting industry, and it's highly toxic. It says.
Made from seaweed.
Pardon me?
It's made from seaweed.
Well, not all of it.
Well, they add stuff to it. It's commonly referred to as elephant snot.
Ew. Okay, well anyways, Palisades in Malibu, I called the head firefighting place and I said, when are you gonna clean up the Phos-Chek? I said, you cannot release that into the drains of the sewer system or any surface or groundwater. You can't release it into that. It states that clearly on the safety data sheet. And they said, oh, we're gonna clean it up. And they didn't, and it rained and it washed it into the bay. And then all those marine mammals died. Just a thought. It's not Edison that's starting those fires. The ones that were combusting in the ravines were from the dehydrated particulates of the Phos-Chek. Conditions to avoid: heat, moisture, air, sunshine. A little odd for a flame retardant, wouldn't you say?
Michelle.
I wasn't going to say anything about,
No, we're not going to 5 o'clock.
oh, well, that was really what I was going to say,
In December, we are.
But, so that's one of them, But you were talking about the day of drafts, and I'm thinking, that's really supposed to be All Saints Day. So let's think about a little bit more healthier way, because just like the smoke shops and all that stuff is just as toxic, it ruins families, it kills people on the road. And so maybe we could kind of like veer off into a little bit more, if you will, holy day, or so for All Saints Day for the next day. So, because you've already got you could do your drafts on Halloween, But anyway, thank you.
Thank you. Dennis Porter.
Vice Mayor, members of council, illegal dumping is my subject. 27th East and Avenue J. I've been in that area for 35 years, and I'm the only one that cares about my street, 27th, and the adjoining cul-de-sacs. The grass that goes along is always taken care of. I do most of the pickup of trash. And my granddaughter, when she says she's bored, we go out there. But lately, that berm goes into a field that is owned by somebody. Well, that field, about 30 yards in, it's got a huge bush, bigger than a tumbleweed. Somebody discovered they're going to be very creative. They're going to find a way to take their vehicle, truck, car, whatever, and dump their trash behind it. Didn't deceive me. I've called since August 10th. Got nowhere. Called different people, different answers, et cetera, et cetera. Finally, about a week and a half ago, I got a hold of somebody. I'm not going to say her name, but God bless her. She said to come here. Here I am. So I just want to say, something's got to be done. It's ridiculous. It's a dump. It's like if I took all my trash for 2 months and just decided to put it out in the street, it's going to fill up that street, and it's going to be an eyesore, and it's not fair. And too bad I can't do what I'm going to do, but I got pictures behind the bush, all the way around, and a lying area. It's ridiculous. 35 years, I'm the only one that cares about that street, and that. So that's been 2 months plus. But I've talked to so many people in illegal dumping, code enforcement, a lot of people got nowhere. So this is my recourse. So hopefully somebody, I know nobody's taking notes, but hopefully it gets recorded that I say what I say. So J, north, 27th, right? And then on that side, which is east, empty field. On this side, it's all nice and clean. Just got cleaned up with all kinds of debris. There's a ditch that goes across, just to give you kind of description. But thank you. I hope I said enough.
Thank you, sir.
You bet.
Charlize?
It will be handled.
Christina? Welcome.
Hello, it's my first time, so bear with me. Good afternoon, Vice Mayor, council members. My name is Christina Alonso, and I'm here as a proud resident of Lancaster and a parent. I'm here to thank you for supporting the LCC, the community center, which has been a huge part of my daughter's life since she was 18 months old. From mommy and me classes to cooking sessions and now preschool, the LCC has helped her grow and learn. What makes it even more special is that these programs are affordable, often free, making them accessible to families across the Antelope Valley. But it's more the people that makes the biggest difference, like staff, like Sonia Patterson, Christina Smith, and Bessie Lovano. Along with the friendly crossing guards and park rangers, they make us feel seen and valued. They know our names, our kids, and our stories. The LCC isn't just a place for kids, it's a place where parents connect and grow community. Thank you for believing in the LCC and continuing to invest in it. It helps children grow and families thrive. Thank you.
Thank you. David Paul?
Mr. Vice Mayor and Council, good evening. This is an evening long time coming for me. I had the opportunity to come here 10 years ago and show off what 50 looks like. On that night, the mayor commented only one thing: the shirt wasn't right. So what I did was order a shirt. I would have been here 2 weeks ago, but the shirt didn't come. It was hung up in tariffs on the dock. So I finally got my shirt in, and I just want to show you guys, not to make you feel bad, but this is what 70 looks like if you take care of yourself. So we don't want any fat generals running down the street. We want our guys in shape. And some of this stuff, I say this often, you know, I come to the criminal justice and I talk about all the old veterans that would like to pick up some big sticks and clean up some smoke shops. And that's the stuff that's available to us. It's a last resort, and I really appreciate it. And something from the prayer today struck me. It said, "Blessed are all the good works that are not in vain." And that's the community aspect that I try and stress every time I get up here. Some of this stuff, you just feel like you make no progress, but we try. And we live in a community where we all work together, and that is the greatest thing. And the thing that you can teach people is self-sufficiency. That's why I like to do the best I can and encourage everyone to stay mentally fit and consume a mental diet of positive thoughts, because it's really easy to get sidetracked by the craziness we can't do anything about. But thank you. Thank you, everyone. I love this city, and I look forward to having some of you guys come to my garage and working out with me. Thank you.
David Harris.
Well, I brought an outfit for you. No. Really quickly, I want to say publicly thank you to Waste Management, our partner of 5 years in community cleanup efforts. The City of Lancaster and the Tidy Up a Mile, we've been taking care of 4 miles of Challenger Way for the last 4 years, and we're just really proud to do it. And also Mark Acts Now, Man, has also been a key partner in our cleanup efforts. And we do have a cleanup coming up this Saturday. It is the day after Halloween, so I understand if turnout is light, and we also have other events going on as well. But I did want to share it, and I did want to give kudos to Waste Management. It's very expensive for them to provide the
Fran, you're our final speaker.
Okay. Well, relax. I want to take my time. No, no, just kidding. Of course. Good afternoon again. I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Fran Sarasaris. I am a commissioner for LA County for Aging and Disabilities. My first thing is, on the Metrolink, you said you want to close it on January the 1st. You're going to let them know in December, but you're going to, if nothing happens, then you're going to close it on January the 1st. But their next meeting is not until January 26th. So what's going to happen to us on January the 1st if I have to go down, or we all have to go downtown or go somewhere? Well, for sure you're going to take care of it. I'm sure you're going to care. I know you're going to take care of it, but I'm just stating a few facts that I've come across. It's going to come out in the paper. That's where I got some of my information. But I also want to mention something very, very, very... I had to go to the Department of Social Service building in Lancaster, which is at 349 East K6. A friend of mine took me around there so I could know where to go the next day to make sure I know where I was going. Well, we never found K6 349 East. So the next day, so I left it up to, I went by Access that day to, so I said, I'm gonna leave it up to Access, they'll find the address. Well, anyway, the address turned out to be in the back. Okay, you have to go down Avenue East K6, going towards Gingham. That's another street I need to talk to you about. And you're going down towards Gingham, and you do not see the address, okay? But you see the address in the building next to it, but not, is my time up already? Holy shalom. Anyway, but the one I want to say real quick, though, which is very, very important. Gingham, when you're going to East K6, when you get to Gingham, there are no crosswalks from one end of that street to the next. As I had some time to I was waiting for access. Long story short, And then another thing, on that street, there's about 5 to 6 these people that give out the free cell phones parked there. And I wanted to get across the street. I couldn't get across the street, so I went in between 2 buildings with my cane hanging, swinging. They go so fast, so I went up and down my street after I crossed it to see if I could get to the other end to see if there was a crosswalk. There's no crosswalks whatsoever. And this is right at the building that it's visible is Bart's, which you probably all know, Altadena, because their name is up there. But that street, and they drive very, very fast on that street, and they don't stop. I almost got hit, and I was being very careful, and I just couldn't get my motor running that fast. But
Thank you, friend. We'll look into it.
Okay, thank you very much. God bless you all.
Okay. Raj, you have any? Lauren? Ken? We have a closed session?
Yes, we do. The council will now move to closed session to discuss closed session items number 1 through 22, as stated on the agenda.
Thank you, everyone. Okay, back into session. City Attorney.
Yes, in closed session, the city council took up agenda item, closed session 2 for 3 potential actions, and closed session item 16, no reportable action.
Okay, anybody have anything else?
No,
With that, we stand adjourned.
thank you.